Hi, Amanda here with Crafting with Amanda. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. If you haven't yet, you can tell because the word subscribe will be like in red. Otherwise, if it's grayed out, you've already subscribed, and I appreciate that. So today's project is kind of a combination of projects that I saw from different people, and it's a little, I'm calling it a note card purse, and you can easily fit 12 note cards with envelopes in this, as well as there's a pocket for stamps or sticky notes. So here are the pieces that you need, and I will have these dimensions in the description of this video as well as on my blog eventually. So I have the pieces that are going to decorate the purse, and then here are the bases for the purse and for the pockets that are on the inside of the purse. And this is an old Felicity paper pack from close to my heart. It's long time not available, but I just wanted to use up some of my stash. So I'm starting with the 12 by 6 base, and I'm going to score it at 5 1/4 from both ends. And I like to score from both ends because the center section, if you're a little bit off, it's just going to be in the center section and it's not going to be seen. So now here for the big pocket, you don't score the handles at all, but for the big pocket, you score at 3/8 and then 1 1/4. Again, you're going to do both of the short edges and then just one of the long edges. And you're going to do that for all the pockets, I think, except for the small pocket. So here on the medium pocket, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch and 1 1/8 inch from both edges and then also along the bottom. And this short piece, I'm doing it wrong. It should be tall. So I should be scoring the 2 tall sides. And just one of the short sides, but I figure that out a little bit later and we will swap that out. So there is mistake number 1, and I think there's at least 3 of them in this video that I show you how to work around. So then with each of the pocket pieces, you're going to cut the bottom corner out. It ends up being like a 4x4 square when you count the score lines, and you just cut those out because we don't need them for this project. Doing that on all 3 pockets. And again, the handles don't need any cutting, the base doesn't need any cutting, everything is good there. So now I'm taking again the old peacock ink, which is one of the colors that is featured in the Felicity paper pack. And I think I might have the wrong name, but it's an old paper pack. So I inked all the edges with that peacock ink, and then I'm just reinforcing all the fold lines for the part that's going to attach to the base as well as the depth of the pocket. And here is mistake number 2. I've changed it in my instructions, and so the scoring information and the sizes are correct now on the informations, but I made my pocket a 1/4 inch, it ended up a 1/4 inch wider, so I had to go back and cut another piece of the sea glass cardstock so that this original pocket would fit on it. And I wanted to share that with you because sometimes we make mistakes, and it's paper. It's not, it's not a haircut that's going to take months to grow out. And fortunately, I have lots of sea glass left over. So what I do for the pockets is I glue the little corners, and then if you've seen any of my other videos, I use paper clips all the time to help hold those corners. So I did that to all the other pockets. And this is where I realized that I cut the pocket incorrectly, that it needed to be tall. So I went ahead and grabbed another sheet or a piece of the scrap of the sea glass, and I cut it correctly and inked the edges, and then I'm picking up where we left off. And I attached all of the decorative paper onto the pockets, and I'm using score tape just because I want a really good adhesion between the base of this purse and the pockets. We don't want them coming apart. And liquid glue would also work. It's a nice strong adhesive, but I just like the score tape. It works really well. So I don't make you watch me put all the score tape on the pockets, but I wanted to show you, I use my piercing tool to pull that red film that protects the stickiness off, and it gets right under there and works really well. And then I put tape on the bottom of this pocket, but I'm not going to adhere that down until later because I want to be able to work with this project flat and make things that can adhere, and it's just easier to work with without having one side sticking up, and I'll show you that later. So again, I'm taking my piercing tool and taking the red off that score tape. I will put my medium pocket down, and I'm just trying to make sure with the spacing that it's not too close, that it's not going to be interfering with the fold. Put my small pocket in there, and that small pocket is great for stamps. So then here are the handles, and again I'm using score tape on both ends of the same side just to make sure that you don't get a twist in it. And then I just lined up my base, and I put the outside edges of my handles, they just comfortably sat I think 3 inches apart from each other, and you just have to play with it and see what fold and bend works for you. And I didn't worry about if it was going to line up because I knew I was going to cover those joints, so I didn't worry about if one was higher than the other or not. But if you want to be careful about that, you can measure and draw a line. I just figured it was going to be covered. I'm adding some extra white glue at the top there just to reinforce the adhesion of the handles to the base of this little note card purse. And now that I have all the pattern pieces on, I'm going ahead and standing up the one side so that when you have this purse, it doesn't just flop open both sides, only the one side will come down. And I had these old stickies, is what they used to be called, with the paper packs. And I had pulled this one sentiment out, and I have it on my finger, and I'm not feeling it. It's too light of a color for what's going on here. And I don't have any Twilight cardstock anymore, and that's the color that's that dark. So then I decided a flower would be perfect on the front of this purse. And I was showing you in my thin cuts that the flower dies for the flowers on the card were right there, but I was looking for these 3D flowers because they're softer, and I just like the looks of them. It's something you can get on a Cricut cut since the thin cuts aren't available anymore. And here's mistake number 3. When I cut out my thin cuts, one of the dies got off the edge of the paper. So to make that blend in, I just kind of scalloped the edge with the scissors by hand, as you saw. Again, I grabbed a button out of my stash. I'm going to attach this flower, which I inked the edges again with the Twilight, I think I said peacock ink, but with the Twilight ink, kind of just to have it all coordinate together. And then here I'm showing you that I have 6 cards already with the envelopes with them, and then these, I think it's 4 cards, I didn't have envelopes with them, but I wanted you to see that you can get 10 envelopes and cards in here easily. Could probably fit 12 in without a problem. And again, you can include sticky notes and a pen and stamps, and someone would just love to have this gift. Here's another video that you may be interested in, and I really appreciate you stopping by. Have a great day.